Hello everyone and welcome to the Hearthmind Challenge Series. This is number 26, our second one for 2015. I'm Tim Kerosene Harris and I'm here as always with Bolik Asquier Watson and Alex the Boss of Team Hearthmind. How you guys doing tonight?
Awesome.
Oh, I'm doing great.
Kind of salty because I got knocked out of the tournament, but it happens. There's only two people that can make the finals.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we all have good days and bad days, and
Yeah,
the salt comes and then the salt goes, Our
right.
Jesus giveth and taketh away, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And there's always next week. And Alex, I'd like to remind our viewers, is still the record holder for the most Hearthmind Challenge wins at 6, which is pretty incredible because there is him and there's one other person that's very close, and then there's a huge gap till the next one.
Yep. Second place, I believe, is at 5, which is kind of scary.
Yeah, and Whale is going for his second one this week, so he is kind of on your heels there, Alex. You're going to have to step it up for next week.
He's my teammate. I do nothing but help prepare him for these, so I wouldn't be surprised if he caught up.
And Whale did amazingly because he started playing 2 weeks ago and came in second place. Then the week after that won the tournament. And today he's going to be going against FallenRemote, who is a newcomer. Well, he's played the tournament before, but hasn't placed in top 4 yet. So we really don't know what to expect from him. Do you guys know more about him?
All I know is that this is his first time making it past round 2.
Yeah, and he is from the team AT Gaming, who has a Hearthstone team. I do know that about him. As far as actually having seen him play before, this will be the first time I'm watching him. But I'm expecting good things from him, Hopefully it should be an exciting match. You want to see if the guys are ready to go?
It looks like they're starting the games right now.
Okay. Alright, so they're just getting ready to queue up for the game. We should be ready to go any second now.
Now, it's worth noting that we have pretty much the whole deck list for Whale because Alex is the one that wrote that deck list.
Yeah.
FallenRemote, unfortunately, we do not know what he's going to play, so this is going to be a surprise.
Yep.
I'm definitely looking forward to seeing it here.
Yeah, I will know, I think, everything about this deck, unless he did some last-second change. I don't think he did.
I was watching his stream right up until the finals, and I did not see him make any changes. I remember you guys were talking about some changes, but I don't believe he actually did that.
Yep. Just trust the deck list. Got him this far.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like, I find sometimes playing deck lists, even if they're not exactly 100% optimized, if you know the deck, it can really be the difference between if you win or lose.
This is a really interesting hand from the mage. These are some really interesting cards.
Yeah, it looks like a take on Mech Mage.
Yeah. But Echo of Medivh and Sneed's Old Shredder. A lot of late game stuff.
I was going to say, I haven't seen Sneed's before, but I have to say, in the one Mech Mage I was playing on ladder before, I tried one copy of Echo Medivh and got halfway decent results out of it. So, I mean, in a restrictive format like this, I could definitely see it doing some work.
Yeah, and I saw Sneed's once, and it worked really well.
Yeah, Sneed's is one of those cards where it's slow, but...
Yeah, it's... it may be slower than Tyrion.
Well, because in this particular format, I think it's going to be really good because you have to think about the fact that you can't really play on curve. They're going to try to do that with the Mech Warper.
Yep.
Try to fit those mechs in between the odd turns, or the even turns, excuse me. But up until now, neither one of them has drawn it.
Yeah, and it seems like they took that same approach of using the Mech Warper to smooth out the curve. Looks like Whale's thinking about here if he wanted to kill off the Shredder or not.
Mech decks were really the strongest that I've seen throughout the tournament. The ability to curve mana to fit what they want it to do It's really nice. And just how fast it is.
The only
It's
other take on it I saw, or take on trying to fill out the curve, was a priest, because you can try to play odd, which people play even, play odd and use Thought Steal and Mind Vision to
oh,
get
that's
your opponent's
interesting.
cards.
Yeah.
The
So you
idea
can
is good, it
steal
just
even.
doesn't seem to work because
Yeah,
obviously we
it's
see mech decks in both the players in the finals.
and also that tends to leave it up to randomness as well. Or actually, not really. If you're playing, it leaves it on your opponent's choice, I should say, really. Because if they're playing the same even or odd as you, then it's really not getting any value in terms of smoothing your curve.
Totally not surprised to see Sylvanas played there. The chances of it stealing something really good were very high. Sadly, a polymorph came out, but that could have happened to any 6-drop that he played.
Yeah, and the water elemental is really devastating for a warrior
And that's a really awkward turn.
because it locks down the weapons from them. And I
Yeah.
mean, right
Which
now he
there are
has the shredder, which can challenge it out, but the Yeti right here would just
Yep.
trade with it. So he's really in a tough spot. And
And
He
this
could
is an
also
easy trade.
decide-
He has to trade with, well, either trade or clear it, but he has plenty of options to do it.
yeah, I was gonna say he's sitting on a massive amount of burn in his hand too.
Yeah, that's a lot of burn.
He
And that
will
is
probably
not
want
good.
to keep it.
I
No,
guess
that's a terrible draw.
It's okay, but nah, it's pretty bad.
Without the battle cry, that's really not that good of a card.
Mhm.
Yeah, it looks like he's just gonna go with keeping the warrior locked down there, which
Mhm.
I think is the right approach because the weapons are always bound to come up.
And he doesn't know that Whale is not sitting on any weapons at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I mean, a warrior, you kind of expect them, like
Mhm.
the fiery wind axe. It always seems like they have it, but
That was a very good draw.
yeah, that's actually I think the second best thing you can get.
Millhouse Mana Storm.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's the best one, and the succubus is the second best. So
But in this case, the difference between 4-3 and 4-2 is, or excuse me, 4-4 and 4-3 is almost negligible.
yeah, because just the sheer value out of it, he traded a 4-4 body or 4-3, sorry, and got another 4-3 back.
Yeah, mini Cairn.
It's really not looking too good for Whale, but the fact is he is a warrior, which means he has that armor. He can still get back. I've seen him win one of those games where he was at 1 health for quite a few turns,
yep.
just kept armoring up and surviving.
Yeah,
That's
against
gonna
the
be.
hunter of all classes.
Yeah, that's a tough matchup. I was gonna say against a mage that can be hard though to hang on with just a little bit of health because they tend to have so much burn at their disposal. And I mean, so far we've only seen him play one Frostbolt. He's sitting on the 2 fireballs in his hand, and if he's running evens, he may have Pyroblast in the deck as well.
The only mage I've seen Whale play in this tournament today was one that was playing odds, so he did
Yes.
not have that burn. This matchup is way worse for him.
Yeah, I also created that deck just today, and it performed extremely well, but it was completely torn apart by the warrior. Just a bad matchup, and we kind of decided that warrior would be the best one to go with.
Well, it looks like
Well, altogether, odds seem to be performing a lot better than, or excuse me, evens are performing a lot better than odds.
Yeah,
And we wondered if that would change with GVG. The players that have played in our tournament for a long time might remember we ran 2 separate tournaments, 2 separate weeks. One was odds only, one was evens only, and the odds seem to be way better decks, and that seems to be the case tonight as well.
Can I explain the science that we went through on what mana cost to choose?
Oh, go for it.
So this was Whale's
oh
observation.
wow, that
Oh,
was
wow, that's
painful
nice.
right there.
Mathematically, an odd is way better for the mana curve than an even, because you can use an odd and an odd together to spend all your mana on an even turn. Like a 3 plus a 3 is equal to a 6. Whereas if you're on turn 7, something like that, and you're playing even, there's no way to actually spend all 7 of that mana. because hero power and every card in your hand is equal to 2, or
That's
even.
that's an
So
interesting take on it. I wouldn't have thought about it that way.
if you're playing even, there's a good chance that multiple turns you'll be wasting at least 1 mana. Still decided to go for playing an even deck because this deck just seemed really, really strong.
Yeah.
Well, the math is correct. There's nothing wrong about the math. The
Mhm.
problem with it is the even cause just happening to be better.
Yeah. Do you see a way for Whale to get out of this
That's what
trap?
I was just gonna say. If you're Will, what are you looking for right now to get out of this? Because
You going through your deck lists and seeing what other deck can beat this.
Yeah.
yeah, because I don't know what other. You said he had a mage prepared as well.
Yeah, and I think the mage could win this actually really well. I would be really excited to see him pull it out because it has a interesting win condition that I thought of myself. I'd like to see him put it to use.
The problem right here is that throughout the whole game, first of all, he didn't draw any weapons, which are crucial for him. But two,
Yeah.
even if he did, he
He's
was locked
frozen.
down. He really didn't have any option
That's
of.
the end here.
And actually, his whole opening hand, I don't think he played his whole opening hand because wasn't his mulligan Mech Warper, Echo of Medivh, the Goblin Blast Mage and Sneeds? I don't think he played a single card that he mulliganed into his hand.
All right.
Yeah, quite unfortunate because obviously Will was an amazing player. He won the last tournament. He was second in the previous one. And this game, it seems like he could never catch up. He was always from behind, always trying to get some semblance of a board control and just could not do it. And when that Frost Elemental hit, that just pretty much locked him down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean that is only game one though. We don't even know which deck he's going to bring back. If he's going to try the warrior against the mage again, which I kind of have a doubt that he would, because
Yeah,
the
I
freeze is
dislike
just
that.
devastating for a warrior.
And we
So
got to give credit to FallenRemote. This was a very well constructed deck.
yeah, it played out very smoothly. I'm quite impressed.
I poked over to his stream just to see what deck he's choosing because I like spoilers, I guess.
Well, we're about to
choosing a
find
deck.
out because they're queuing up for a second game. Please remember this is a best of 5. All throughout the tournament, we're going through best of 3s. The final and the game deciding third place are best of 5s.
All right, here we go.
This deck that he's playing here is really quite the interesting deck. And I think it will perform really well.
Oh, really? Paladin?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what do you know about this deck, Alex?
I know that it's about as aggro as any deck could ever be, ever.
So it's
Yeah,
basically shock it in
Yes,
with only odds.
right.
oh, King Mukla. I haven't seen that card in a while.
Yeah, and he didn't coin out Leper Gnome, most likely because he wants to coin Mukla next turn.
Yeah, and
In
also
turn 2, 5/5.
the 1/1s just die to the mage hero power too, which is
Mm-hmm.
Now, getting rid of this Mech Warper, of course, is impossible right now, but that is crucial because that evens out the mage's turns, or
Yep.
doesn't play well on odd turns.
Went
No,
for
you can't
Dancing
let that happen.
Swords, most likely so that he can't give the opponent bananas, which could be used to buff the Mech Warper, which is something you definitely don't
yeah,
want.
because that thing has to die as soon as
Yeah.
possible, pretty much.
Actually, wouldn't be surprised to see Tinkmaster played here after killing the Mech Warper. Because if it turns the 4/5 into a 5/5, you don't cry that much, and if it turns your damage 4/4 into something different, you don't cry that much. But he
That's
goes
true.
for Avenge.
Yeah, Avenge I think is the safe play there because his opponent's going to trade with him here,
Yeah.
and even if it's the Leper Gnome that gets buffed, then he's got a 5/3 Leper Gnome.
I really like the reversing switch here, making
Yeah.
sure that FallenRemote can't get a clean trade on it, can't get a 2-for-1.
hmm That play right there is really good because it's going to take out the Avenge and the Dancing Swords in just one attack.
Very nice. We'll see what card he gets. Unstable Portal.
Okay. It'll be fun to see what comes out of that golden portal.
Yeah, Unstable Portal. That's like, that card had so much hype when it was first released, and I mean, I think it's not a bad card, but it's a fun card, you know, because it's hit or miss. Like, yeah, a lot of times you do get good value out of it, but sometimes it just completely falls on its head.
Yeah. I would say
not
that
consistent.
on average, it's really good, which makes up for the fact that it's inconsistent.
Oh, and there's a second portal.
Most of the time you'll get value out of it. That's why we see it played.
Yeah.
I personally don't like it just because I don't like losing to RNG.
And here we go in terms of the value.
So there you saw it twice,
Yeah, he got an
and
even
it got
valued.
really insanely good value. I think when you play it twice and it does well, you can kind of say that it's a good card.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's not a bad card, but I don't think it lived up to the hype that everyone gave it originally.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, that's a plus off Tinkman.
Oh, that works.
Yeah, he'll take it.
Yeah, I'm sure he would have much rather had it hit the Lord of Arena, but hey,
Yeah,
you know,
that's
you take what you can get at this point.
Yeah.
Considering the fact that Whale is playing a very aggressive deck, as Alex mentioned,
Mhm.
it's not looking too good for him, considering that it's about to be turn 6, and he's only dealt 4 damage to the enemy hero.
And there's that really annoying taunt that came off the portal.
Yeah, that was definitely a good draw, because I don't think the mage was running much taunt otherwise, was he?
No. Oh, and that is a harsh polymorph.
Now we'll see if he's running 2. I haven't seen 2 in FallenRemote's deck.
Ooh, that's a good clear.
Yeah, that was definitely a nice draw for him, because he can take out that clean without any overkill, and
Only one of the two 1 health guys is going to get hero powered, so he can trade into the 5-1 with the other.
though he does have the coolant in his hand.
Yeah, there's the coolant, so if you want to go for the coolant, suppose that is a play. It would make sense.
I was going to say, I probably would, because that micro machine's just going to keep getting bigger, and you have your hero power to deal with the dude next turn.
Yep, makes sense. And now King Mukla is such a dead card because you do not want to give your opponent bananas when they have minions on the board. It's just terrible.
Yeah, and
That's a very good draw potentially. We'll see what he gets from it.
on top
Nothing
of that,
exciting.
too, the Mukla, if he plays it, is just going to die to the micro machine. Which,
I feel like he's going to play Redemption. We'll see. Nah, okay. It makes sense not to play Redemption because there is the 1-1, but on the off chance he trades with the 5-5 first.
yeah, that's it right there with
That's game.
the fireball.
Yeah, he's down 2 games already. This is not looking good. We'll see what he can pull out. Oh, and the banana.
And the BM.
Wow, he
Whoops.
fed the bananas to King Mukla.
Well played. So, guys, rate that BM. How good was that BM?
I would give that an 8 out of 10, I would say.
That was not bad. Feeding Mukla bananas is definitely enjoyable.
Yeah, I probably would have fed both of them to Mukla, though, if it was me personally. You know, you feed the monkey
Yeah.
his bananas.
Yeah. I don't know why you would give a machine a gnome
I
thing.
don't think the gnome would have enjoyed the banana nearly as much. That's
sure.
just my take on it, though.
Yeah. Maybe he didn't want him to enjoy it, though. Just give 1 to the monkey, 1 to the machine, to make the monkey jealous for the other one.
That is true. I didn't look at it on that angle.
Yeah.
Might be onto something there.
Yeah, he's onto some new BM. Or maybe he just dragged them randomly onto the board. That's actually probably more likely.
So, what do you think we're going to see here from Flying Whale? Do you think he's going to bring the mage out, or What do you expect from him?
I am expecting him to either go back to the warrior or to go for the mage that I created.
Yeah, because the warrior, like I said, I just see it having a very poor matchup with the
Yeah,
mage. So,
but I don't think he's very confident with the mage.
and I know warrior is his strong class, like in terms of what I think he's most comfortable playing.
Yeah,
From when I've seen him streaming before, he is definitely well versed in control warrior.
yeah. But this is not control warrior, it is mech warrior.
Yeah, it's definitely a different thing. So,
Hugely reliant on weapons. If a water elemental or snow chugger comes down and freezes you for a few turns before you can kill it, it's not looking good.
yeah, it's becomes a totally different thing.
hmm
All right.
Really liking the mage deck that we see from his opponent, though.
Yeah, it's very strong, I have to say, and hopefully, I hope to see FallenRemote back again. You know, it's
Yeah,
because he obviously has a good grasp on deck building outside of the box. So I'm sure
there's some good deck building.
he would have some, exciting stuff in our future challenges. Are they about ready to start? Have you spoke to them?
Okay, apparently we don't have a Bolek.
Oh, we lost him in the call.
We lost him, apparently.
All right,
He's gone forever.
gone
Oh.
forever. All right, let me see if I can add him back in here. We are having a little technical difficulty here, but we're gonna get it fixed up right quick. Are you back with us?
Yes, I am. Sorry about that. Got
Excellent.
disconnected.
All right. So we were just talking about FallenRemote and saying we hope to see him back because it's definitely been some nice deck building out of him.
Oh, that mage deck is beautiful.
hmm
Did you have a chance to speak to the? Okay, it looks like they're actually starting up right now. I was just going to ask if you spoke to them and seen if they were ready to go.
Yes, they're queuing up the game right now.
Yep. So let's jump into this. Oh, so he did go back to the warrior. You were definitely right there, Alex.
Yep.
Because we were saying that I think warrior is his go-to class, so to speak, from
Yeah.
what I've seen him playing in other formats.
Well, it got him to ninth rank legend last season, so he knows warrior very well.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that golden warrior just looks so amazing.
It does. I love the fire.
So what do you think here? Do you think it's going to be the Mech Warper or the Sorcerer's Apprentice?
Considering that he doesn't have any spells in his hand, I think it's going to be the Mech Warper because he
Wow.
does have a mech. Granted, it's a little bit down the road, but it's something.
Yeah, he actually passed, didn't roll on the coin, so it looks like the Mech Warper
Yeah.
is going to come here.
He wants to play his Blast Mage on 3, and then Blast Mage again on 4, which means he's probably going for Mech Warper.
Yeah, the
So,
Blast Mage
Blast Mage
is
is
so
not a
strong. He couldn't coin it out on turn 3, though.
You can coin it. Okay.
So that's why he passed turn 1. He didn't feel like he needed to get something out. He'd rather have turn 3 4-drop.
Yeah, so it looks like Apprentice and Portal is what he's thinking about here. Because that reduces the cost. He gets to hold on to the coin as well. If he were to draw into something at 1 mana. Blood Knight's not bad. I would probably hold it though, knowing that he's playing mechs for an Annoyotron.
Interesting.
Because at a 0, that's a tempo swing right there. Plus, you get to eat up the Divine Shield and catch him off guard.
And there is no silence that we know of in the warrior deck.
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of the owls in there.
Hate to spoil it, but yes, there's no silence in that deck.
Alright, so what does he do here? I would say he's probably going to Frostbolt.
Getting rid of that mech warper is a priority.
Yeah, because
He has to.
it's a snowball card. It's similar to the Undertaker, where if you don't deal with it, it just gets so far out of hand that you lose so much tempo that you'll essentially lose the game off that one card if you can't deal with it in a few turns.
Yeah.
And FallenRemote doesn't see it, but Whale's hand is full of mechs.
Yeah.
Not full,
So he
but it curves out
goes for
really
the
nice.
Goes for the right play there.
Yeah, so he killed that, and he might be looking at Blood Mage just for the card draw to turn it over.
It really makes sense to me that he didn't go for the Blast Mage because he's playing around Death Spite. If he went for Blast Mage, he would just play Death Spite, clear it, have the same board and a weapon equipped, and pass the turn. It would still be a terrible situation to be in.
Yeah, so this is definitely looking better for the Warriors so far, I have to say.
Kel'Thuzad.
Well, he
That is
has
quite
what he was
greedy.
missing so bad in the previous game, meaning he has a board for at least a little bit, and he can go from there. He can control it well, but he has to have it, and he never got that even for one turn last game.
I'm really interested in why he didn't go for Death Spite. Oh! Maybe he's just full out rushing.
Yeah, it looks like he's
That makes
pushing for
sense.
lethal right here.
And that is a great top deck to slow the game down.
Oh man, yes. You could throw out the
Still don't
Blood
think
Mage
it wins him the game.
if he would like to. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, this would probably be a good time to drop it, because then, you know, he gets the free turn here, and then he can attempt to swing back the board on the following turn.
It's like investing in a 3/3 with charge for the next turn that doesn't require any mana.
Exactly, because the options to deal with it are very limited. He basically has one swing of a weapon and whatever limited amount of removal he may have, because most of Warriors' removal, or their premium removal, I guess you could say, falls in the 1 mana slot.
Yeah.
So, oh, he's just straight pushing for damage 100% here.
He's
Yeah,
just praying that there are no fireballs on the other side.
Oh, one fireball.
Speaking of,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think that's going to be enough, though, because he's got, what, 9 plus 6, 7 with Thanos on the fireballs. That's
Yeah,
16. That's not enough. And if he doesn't deal with the board, he dies right here.
Yeah, that's a moderate roll for the Blast Mage. The fact that one of them hit face is kind of disappointing for FallenRemote.
Yeah, but I mean, at this point, he's probably happy to get what he got there, because
Yeah. This game
I
is
do
over,
agree
right?
with killing the Yeti here, because killing the Yeti gets damage off the board. Killing the Shredder doesn't.
yeah, I mean, it is over because the
Yeah.
Kor'kron Elite will finish it off, because he doesn't have. He had the Rusty.
Oh, BM time. You know it's coming. Oh no, he killed it. Oh, that's disappointing. Oh, Rusty Horn. Didn't see
Yeah,
that.
but that still wouldn't be enough.
That is an amazing top deck right there.
Yeah, that's really good.
It's still short though. On,
Still short. He doesn't have the mana for it, but
Does kill a 6/4. You can't really complain about that.
it pretty much secures the game.
I wouldn't honestly count the mage out as 100% lost,
I
just
wouldn't
because
either.
of the fireballs and the frost bolts.
If he topped a Frostbolt or another Fireball, he might put together enough damage.
Yeah,
Especially
depending what he gets from the shredder here.
that is
Well,
reasonable.
If Whale plays safe, and he always does, he's going to taunt this up.
No, he's gonna cleave and hit face with or clear a minion or hit face, but it will clear a minion no matter what. Yeah, so he's just gonna clear the board.
Yeah, he went super
Ignore
safe
that.
right there. I don't know. I probably would have pushed for lethal at that point. Hit the face.
Yeah,
But I guess he's
Probably
playing
would've-
around the potential burn is what he's
I
doing.
just would like to be frostbolted in the face and not have that 4 damage available to kill the opponent the next turn.
That
So
is
I
a good
probably would-
point. I didn't think about the freeze.
Yeah. If he would have gone for the face, it looks like he would have won this turn.
But it was a gamble, you know. It wouldn't have.
It's a- yeah.
I think what he did was definitely the safest play available.
I think he's gonna go for this, then play a Screwjank Clunker and taunt it, so that he has to deal with the Clunker and leaves the Elite. It's possible that he could go for Sylvanas, or probably Golem if he's going for a 6-drop. There's quite a few options.
Yeah, because the clunker is what? It's a 2/5 by
Yeah.
itself, right? So yeah, that still dies to the Blast Mage. I think the Golem and Armor Up and Taunt would probably be the safest play here if he's
Yeah.
trying to keep himself out of lethal range, because the Golem will still, even if he runs into Blast Mage, it'll leave him behind something next turn to continue to push.
Yep. And what is he hoping to get off this? What 4-cost minion would be ideal?
For 4 cost, I'm trying to think. There's probably something with 4 costs that has, or he only needs 2 attack actually.
He only needs 2 attack. Yeah.
And there's 2 damage right there.
Feature in the game right there. Wow.
Yeah, so this looks like it's going to be it here, even though FallenRemote doesn't know it yet.
So let's think of the best way to BM here.
Best way to BM would probably be to...
If he had a way to kill his own Sylvanas and take Kel'Thuzad, that would probably be the ultimate BM, but...
You're probably going to slam your own Korkron, to be honest. No!
Oh, so disappointing.
BM. That is disappointing. You're part of Team Hearthmind. You can't just skip a golden opportunity to slam your own creature.
Yeah, well, he's a very humble guy, though, I have to
Yeah,
say.
he is.
In the... Anytime I've ever spoke with him, watched his stream, you know, he doesn't really come across as the BM type, so... you
No,
know.
he's not.
No, he's not. I was personally hoping.
He's the methodical player.
Yeah, and always very friendly, you know, with all his opponents. Anytime I've ever seen him playing in, like, tournaments or... just very cordial with people, you know, and I respect that. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, a little BM is fun here and there, you know. Like, right there, I probably would have thrown it in because, you know, he wanted to give
Yeah.
it to me the last game. You know, you got to pay it back in kind.
Yep.
But,
It was well met.
yeah, well met indeed.
And I'm very happy that Whale won this game, not only because it's part of Team Hearthmind, but we get to see another game.
You get to see
The series
more.
is not over.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's not
so
over.
now the question becomes, does FallenRemote have another deck? Or are we going to see the Mage again? What do you think?
Oh, you're just gonna see the mage again. It took a game off the warrior earlier. It was actually rather unlucky that he didn't get any minion that could freeze the weapon. He didn't get a chugger or a water elemental, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he drew the Water Elemental at the very end of the game. He didn't get a chance to use it. So, I think the Mage is a good choice to bring out again, because, like
And
we
he
were
does
saying...
have another life with it, so he has 2 chances to take a game off. I think he would just go with the mage.
Yes.
And the Mage absolutely decimated the Warrior game 1.
Yeah.
And this game was fairly close. It's not like he was shut down. So I believe he will stick with it.
I think the reason he won is because he had Fiery War Axe in the opening hand. Did he? Or am I imagining that? I think he did. Not sure if I remember. Anyway, he had a way to clear the 2-drop, which was very important.
Well, they're queuing up now, so we'll find out shortly.
Alright. Let's see how it goes here. Hopefully FlyingWhale can hang in this.
Ooh, Priest! We see a change of deck.
So he did switch it up.
Light of Naru, Dark Cultist, and Shadow Word Death.
Priest is one of those classes that has better odd cards than even. And he has a way to even out the curve with it.
With the hero power especially. The fact that you can heal and play a 3 mana or just any odd card is really good. Fills out your curve very nicely.
So the
Heal the opponent pass play.
that's the old school Priest start, you know, back
Yeah,
before Priest
the double
had.
machine with no answer though. That is gonna get scary. Probably a Shadow Word Death is gonna come down on one of these.
That's what I was just gonna say. The next turn, it does move into Shadow or Death range.
Harvest Golem was a great draw because you don't want to throw Cultist when it can just be killed easily by one of these 2-drops. But Harvest Golem can potentially trade with both. Annoyotron, however, very annoying.
Yeah,
And this is all of a sudden just a rush.
yeah, they're just snowballing incredibly fast here. Well, at least one of them is gonna die right here. Actually,
Yeah.
both with the Holy Smite.
Oh, the Holy Smite top deck. That was good.
Yes, you really don't want to waste your best removal on a 2-drop.
Yeah. Probably a clunker to keep the Noyotron alive. And hit the face.
Yeah, and like right here we just saw with that micro machine, this looks like it's one of those situations where the game spiraled out of control and just gets lost in
Yeah,
the
he's
first
done
couple
so much
turns.
damage now that he needs to just go for it.
Because, I mean, he's already down half his health, and it's only turn 5. Like, I mean, granted, the priest does have the ability to heal up.
Yeah. Oh, and this is a really good combo for Priest. Light of Naru on an injured Blade Master heals it up to just 1 away from completely healed, which allows for the Light Warden to come out.
The Light Warden is so underwhelming, though, I think.
Yeah, in this situation, it certainly is.
Because most of the time it just dies anyway. Like, I mean, granted, like if you're ahead on the board, sometimes it'll live and
Yeah.
you can get some value out of it. But usually,
Build it up.
people will just they'll see it. It's like one of those cards that has like the hidden text that says dies.
Dies, yes. Like Tyrion has a hidden battle cry that puts the Black Knight, Siphon Soul, Assassinate, Acidic Expose, Harrison Jones, all those cards into the opponent's hand.
Well, I wouldn't put Light Warden in a deck, but getting it quote-unquote for free, I would definitely take.
Yeah.
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, for free, because right there it 8/3 attack, if nothing else.
Yeah, so it technically healed for a total of 6 for 1 mana, which is better than Holy Light. Kind of.
Kind of, sort of.
Because that kind of math is iffy
Yeah, that's
that way, because it's not exactly just 6, because it was spread out differently. 1 went on the hero, 1 went on a minion. So it's hard to calculate that way, but if you want to simplify things, you can just say that.
Well, he finally got rid of the Noyotron, who did work this game.
Yeah. Priest is taking the board, though, and that's really scary, because if they have the board, they can just heal themselves, and there's just no way for you to win. So he definitely has to get bored soon.
yeah. Once the priest gets the board, it's very hard to take it back from it.
With a board that comes card advantage and life advantage, Priest just needs the board.
Yeah, so it looks like
He's able
Flying
to.
Whale, yeah, he is holding on. That Sludge Belcher, I think, is probably going to come into play the next turn.
Yeah,
And that thing it's just
Black
always a pain in the ass to deal with.
yeah. Except when you
Very
have
good draws, though, here for Whale. Sylvanas is going to be very troublesome.
Yeah, and the Argent Commander is nice too, because it's almost like removal in a way. Granted that it's
Yeah.
expensive, but because you can just throw it out there and kill something, and then your opponent still has to deal with it after the fact.
Double Cultist is pretty strong. You kill one, it buffs the other. No matter what way you go about doing it, it's really awkward.
Yeah, because that'll put the other one at 7, correct?
Yeah.
That's correct.
This actually plays into that. The fact that one buffs the other
Yeah, because
now makes it impossible to sack it in. So Sylvanas will most likely steal something good. Oh, man. That was a vicious thought steal.
And that's a
Yes,
combo that
and
Whale will not see coming.
Yeah. Oh, he's not going to be happy if he sees this Death Spike come down this turn. It's such a good card to thought steal.
yeah, and along with Gromash, I mean,
That's lethal next turn.
yeah, I was gonna say he has potential to finish
Yeah.
the game right here.
Oh, and he's not going to be able to play around it either, and he's going to be so mad.
Well, he's not going to play around it because who expects
Right.
Gromash in a priest deck?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that's one of the things with priests that the games can be so frustrating against them because you never know what cards they steal from you, and you know it always feels like they get exactly what you don't want them to have. Like, I mean, even though we all know it is
was.
random, but
It was exactly what he didn't want the opponent to have.
I mean, you always remember when things like this happen. Like like that's just a terrible way to lose.
Yeah. That is quite the terrible way to go out. That thought steal. 3 mana win the game.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
In that case, it was, and that is
Yeah, that's the series right
the
there.
end. Right there, yeah.
But we got to give it to FallenRemote. He had very well prepared decks. He was very well prepared, and played perfectly. I mean, this was a very good series for him.
Yeah, he definitely had a great showing, and FlyingWhale as well. I mean, he played with what he had there, and sometimes you just don't get dealt the cards. And second place this week, first place last week is certainly a respectable showing.
And
Second
sometimes
the week before, so he's been the top 2 for 3 weeks straight.
Yeah, so all in all, I think it was a great showing, and I mean, obviously, as I said earlier, that FallenRemote, it's not like he's just a slump out of nowhere. I mean, he's from AT Gaming, so he is definitely invested into Hearthstone. So it's nothing that Whale should be ashamed of in terms of losing to him.
And I'm sure we'll see him back, and I'm sure we'll see him back in the top 4, if not back in the finals sometime soon.
Team Hearthmind will be back, don't worry.
All right, so that's all we have for you guys this week, and look forward to seeing you back next week. And you can check us out on YouTube. It is youtube.com. The name of the channel is Hearthmind.net official. VODs of all of our tournaments that we cast are up there, and every Friday night at 8 p.m. we have the Hearthmind Challenge Series, which is the tournament you just saw the finals of. And also you can check out our site for booking coaching with FlyingWhale, the finalist tonight, or Alex, who's here casting with me right now. Both of them do offer coaching through our site. So thanks for coming out, guys, and look forward to seeing you next week.
I got one more announcement here. People were asking me in chat before, what is the theme for the next tournament? So since we already have it ready, it's not on this site yet, but I can announce it. Next week, you will be able to play any card, which is unusual for the Hearthmind challenges, but the twist is you can pick only one hero, and you have to play that hero throughout the whole tournament. You can play different decks with that hero. So let's say you prepare a Warlock. You can play a Zoo one game, then play a Handlock the other game, then play the Demon Lock the third game. But throughout the whole tournament, you have to play that one hero.
Yeah, and I like the concept behind this format. Like, I'm a big fan of it because, like, having come from a Magic the Gathering background where you play essentially one deck with a sideboard.
Yeah.
And like that's what I feel like this, like it really focuses on, like how we were saying that Whale specializes in playing Control Warrior. So, someone that's very well versed in Warrior, they could bring a Control Warrior, they could bring something like the Mech Warrior that we saw him playing tonight, and maybe like one of the OTK combos, that's just off the top of my head, but it really allows people to show their versatility with a particular class and mastery over it.
But it's worth noting here that, like with all challenges, sideboarding itself is not allowed. You have to prepare the decks before the tournament. You can modify them between different matches, but within one match, within one best-of-3 or best-of-5 series, you cannot go into the deck building screen. You have to have all those decks made beforehand, and then between games you can pick another deck that you already have pre-made.
Yes, that is a good point. I'm glad you brought that up because I did mention the whole sideboard concept there. That, I mean, it will all be listed in the rules, but once you do start the game, you can't leave it in the middle of your series with the opponent. But all in all, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing it next week.
And from a technical aspect, you will pick the class that you want to play with, the hero that you want to play with during check-in. So you can go ahead and sign up as soon as we have the sign-ups ready, which is going to be tomorrow morning, and then prepare all week, think about Theorycraft, and you don't have to log your one hero until check-in. During check-in, you'll pick that hero, and that will show on the bracket. By your name, it will say what hero you're playing that week.
Yeah, I think that about covers it.
This has been your public service announcement.
I look forward to seeing you guys next week.
All right. Take care, guys.